Will the Chiefs be able to go on an unprecedented run? They've been in the AFC Championship game 4 times in a row, I believe.
Yep.
And that has never been done before, even by the Patriots.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think the Patriots, it would be like 3 and then miss and then for whatever case. Yeah. I think I saw a meme. I saw a graphic on the internet. I remember it coming from somebody of importance. Well, maybe it was just maybe it was just Patrick Mahomes to start his entire career.
Yeah. Is it hosting 4 straight?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's hosting 4 straight. Whatever the case, the Chiefs are building their dynasty right in front of our eyes. And there was a clip yesterday out of Mic'd Up that explained that 13-second drive where Travis Kelce walks over to Patrick Mahomes and goes, with Tyreek Hill, he goes, hey, 10, I'm going to run here. You just kind of go in and then set him up out. I'll be able to block it for you. Tyreek Hill, first completion, same exact thing that Travis Kelce said on the sideline to Patrick Mahomes. Timeout, they gain some yards. Then Travis Kelce saying, hey, if they give us that look, the seam is wide open or whatever. And then before the play, everybody hears, obviously now at this point, Mahomes looking, do it, Kelce. And then he looks and goes, actually in the mic'd up, runs the seam, picks up the yardage, looks at the clock, gets down on purpose, calls a timeout. It's like, okay, so Travis Kelce's football IQ is on 100,000 trillion, next level. That is why he and Patrick Mahomes have such a good rapport, because they both are so incredibly intelligent. We're watching this dynasty happen. That's the type of intricacies that we don't hear about whenever we just say, oh, they're all so athletic. Oh, they're all playmakers or all that type of shit. In the game, on the field, Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes having conversations without Andy Reid, without Bieniemy, just being like, hey, this is what we're going to do. Having the trust, the faith, and then the execution. That's a fucking hell of a team going.
I mean, that is gigantic. I think that was so awesome to see. That's why I love seeing these mic'd up. Like when that happens and you see, okay, this is like the most important play in the game to that point for them. If they don't convert that, they don't give them a chance to tie it up, they're not going to win this game. They go home packing. So to see it happen in real time, it's awesome, man. It shows like how important it is for the relationship of the quarterback and the rest of the receivers too, because they have to have ultimate trust that Kelce, like even on that play to Kelce, you saw Pat tried to throw it. He almost pumped a little bit because he wasn't ready yet. Kelce was still stemming the guy outside before he broke back inside up the seam. And then boom, Mahomes nails it. And Mahomes nails it right there. And it's just like, okay. And then I see everything afterwards and you see how they got to it. I'm like, man, if you're a coach, that's what you want. Like you want your team to take ownership. You want your players to take ownership of things. And when it means the most, like your big time guys step up.
And obviously, shout out to the coach, Andy Reid and Bieniemy and everybody over there, empowering the players to be allowed to do that, right? That's not able to happen in places. And
you don't want a lot of guys doing that. You don't want a lot of guys like, hey, I'll tell you what, he's playing me out here. I can just, whatever coach calls, don't worry about that. I got this.
I'm going to go off
You don't
script.
want that.
Usually. All right, you and me, we fucking do that. Fuck everybody. But
that's how picks happen. Yeah, that's how interceptions happen.
Miscommunications, and also whenever people miss people by like 20 yards, that's how that happens. So, but you think about when McPherson tells the backup quarterback, hey, looks like we're going to the AFC Championship before a kick. You hope that is the mindset and the free and the comfort of somebody that has to go in that situation. But in the biggest play of the season, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce being like, yeah, actually, not nervous at all. There's no nerves. It's not like their asses are tight and they're going to like lock up or whatever. It's actually like, yeah, that shit we drew up, let's actually do that. I love that thought because the level of confidence that you have to be at there in your competitive edge to make that decision as opposed to being scared of the moment, instead flipping the moment into a complete backyard football game, basically.
Yeah.
Like just fucking around. Literally like, hey, actually, let's just run. We practice all week, all season, this play, and it's probably drawn up for a reason to be what it is. But if they do what they did last time, I'd be an idiot not to just fucking do this. Much smaller degree, the onside kick to myself. Having a coach that is like, hey, if you see something, go ahead and do it. Empowering, like very, very empowering. And there's a reason why the Chiefs can do that. It was awesome to watch. Those mic'd ups, AJ. You learn so much about the players, about the teams. And obviously they're edited to make people not look terrible aside from the ghosts. Yes. Aside from seeing ghosts that Sam Darnold had. But you can still pick out like, okay, there's levels. Who do you hate? Who do you think you would not get along with in those mic'd ups? Who seems to be a guy? And watching those two chit chat was fantastic.
How do they handle pressure?
Yes.
How do they handle pressure? That's what I like to see in that thing. In the biggest moments of the game, are they coming like speaking super fast and freaking out and trying to figure like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? Here we go. All right, we're gonna lose. No, like they're super cool and calm. They've been there before, and they trust what the coaches have let them know and the little tips they've given them. And then they just go be their own guys, and they freestyle a little bit when you can. It's not even freestyle. It's like, hey, Kelce even said, I ran to the open space. Like, if they're doing that, they're playing me hard outside, the seam is open. I'm going to run to the open space. That's what football is, trying to get the ball to your guys in space.
Well, that's what Troy Aikman was basically talking about with how the Dallas Cowboys attacked the Niners in that game. He said if they would have played Michael Irvin the way they were playing CeeDee Lamb, he would have had 10 catches by halftime. I'm going to throw the ball to where they're either bad or they ain't. That's old school mentality. Now everything's scheme and it's a chess game. We're setting up this to do this. And I assume Travis was setting up that seam route the entire game. Who knows if you're going to need it ever, but here it is. Let's go and make it happen.